Ravens fan, you won't believe the best news that could come right now. With everything happening, the chance to keep Marlon Humphrey on the team just got a lot stronger. This is the kind of decision that could change the future of our defense, and there's no doubt that having Humphrey for longer is a crucial step for the Ravens to stay strong in the coming years. Now, the question is, will the team be able to overcome the cap challenges and secure our leader's stay? Stick with me until the end, because I'll share all the details of this news that will make you even more excited about the Ravens' future. Go Raven! Marlon Humphrey has been a true pillar for the Ravens defense this season. Not only did he have his best performance yet, but he also made some plays that made a real difference in key games. A clear example of this was when he got 6 interceptions, which is an impressive stat. Additionally, he made his first career pick six, meaning he intercepted a pass and ran it back for a touchdown. This is something very special in football, as it completely changes the direction of the game and brings unique energy to the team. What really sets Marlon apart isn't just the number of interceptions, but the timing of them. Even with the Ravens defense struggling early in the season and allowing nearly 300 passing yards per game, Humphrey was there, making the difference. In one of the most memorable games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he grabbed 2 interceptions that helped the team recover after trailing by 10 points. Those plays weren't just numbers. They gave the team confidence and showed the type of leader Marlon is. Humphrey's impact goes beyond the numbers. He's one of the most important players for the Ravens defense, not just on the field, but also in the locker room. His leadership and winning mentality are contagious. When the defense was struggling, with players making mistakes and allowing big plays from the opponent, Humphrey didn't stay quiet. He was one of the main voices pushing his teammates to improve. His speeches and actions helped elevate the defense, especially after the humiliating loss to the Bengals, where the team allowed 428 passing yards. Now, looking at the future of the team, it's clear that the Ravens defense wouldn't be the same without Marlon Humphrey, which makes us think about the next step to keep this key player. The Ravens are in a tricky situation with their cap space, which is essentially the money limit they can spend on players. This means that in order to keep all the big names on the team, the management will have to make some tough decisions. Some veteran players like Ronnie Stanley and Mark Andrews have heavy contracts, and the team might need to let go of some of them to balance the finances. Marlon Humphrey, though one of the top defenders, is at the center of this discussion. The issue is that his current contract no longer has guaranteed money, meaning he will likely ask for a raise. Marlon had an incredible year and will want to be rewarded for it. He had one of the best seasons of his career, with multiple interceptions and game-changing play. This puts him in a strong position in negotiations, as he knows he deserves a new contract. The problem is that with tight cap space, the Ravens might not have the funds to give him the raise he wants. This creates a tough situation, where the team may have to think of alternatives, such as cutting some veterans to create more room in the budget. If the Ravens decide to cut Humphrey, it would be a huge loss. He's one of the cornerstones of the defense and has an impact that goes far beyond his bank account numbers. He's the type of player who can change the outcome of a game and motivate his teammates when things aren't going well. Losing someone like him wouldn't just be on the technical side, but also emotional, because Marlon is a born leader. Even with all the financial difficulties, maybe the Ravens will need to find a way to keep him, as he's one of the team's greatest assets. Therefore, the situation with cap space requires more than just a financial decision. Keeping a player like Humphrey involves understanding the value he brings to the team in every aspect, not just on the field, but also in the team's mentality. So, what should the Ravens do with this financial difficulty, and how can they balance the budget without losing a player of such importance? Marlon Humphrey isn't just an excellent cornerback, but also a key piece for the Ravens' locker room chemistry. He's the type of player who inspires his teammates, not only with his plays, but also with his presence and attitude. When things were tough for the defense early in the season, it was Humphrey who took the lead, motivating everyone to improve. He has an infectious energy that makes the other players try harder, feel more confident, and, most importantly, believe they can turn the game around. This type of leadership is rare and extremely important for any team. Inside the locker room, Humphrey is known as a vocal leader. He's not afraid to speak up when the team needs an extra boost. After the loss to the Bengals, where the Ravens' defense really struggled, he was one of the ones who didn't stay quiet. His speeches helped the team change their attitude and improve significantly in the following game. This kind of attitude goes far beyond stats because it reflects his ability to influence his teammates and lift everyone's morale during tough times. He not only does his job, but also becomes a reference for others. When a a player like Humphrey is present, he elevates the level of everyone around him. His dedication and passion for the game are visible to all, and this makes other players feel motivated to follow his example. It's not just about being good on the field, but about being the type of presence that creates a winning mentality. Marlon has become an emotional cornerstone for the Ravens defense, and losing this influence could be detrimental to the team. The importance of Humphrey inside the locker room is clear. He's a leader and motivator. His ability to influence his teammates and keep them focused on the goals is essential for the success of any team. So, the question remains, will the Ravens manage to keep this leader within the team, or will they have to let go of someone who holds so much value beyond the field? Well, we're past the halfway point of the video, but I notice you still haven't hit the like button on this video. It's really important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you, and that way I'll continue bringing you more videos. So, go ahead and leave a like on this video. It's free. Thanks. Now, let's continue. The Ravens' defense didn't start the season well. In fact, until Week 10, they were allowing almost 300 passing yards per game, which put the team at risk of being one of the worst passing defenses of the decade. This struggle was directly affecting the team's performance, which seemed on the brink of a crisis. Many players were struggling to position themselves correctly, allowing big plays and numerous opportunities for the opponents. The defense appeared lost and directionless, but Marlon Humphrey remained steady, doing his job brilliantly. Even during this tough phase, Humphrey was one of the few constants in the defense. He didn't let the pressure get to him and continued to do what he does best, make game-changing plays. Remember the game against the Bengals, where the Ravens defense gave up over 400 passing yards. Humphrey was one of the first to call for improvements from the team. He didn't settle for just playing. He took responsibility for doing something to change the situation. This showed his character, as instead of just criticizing, he sought the solution. As a result, the Ravens' defense started improving after that game, leaving behind the mistakes made earlier. The fact that Humphrey managed to maintain his intensity and continue being a leader, even when the defense was at its lowest point, is something you don't see every day. He played a crucial role in turning the situation around and inspiring his teammates to play with more confidence and grit. Without him, the recovery of the defense could have taken much longer, or worse, may not have happened at all. His impact, both on and off the field, was one of the main reasons for this turnaround. Therefore, when we look at the struggles the Ravens faced at the start of the season, we see how essential Humphrey's presence was in getting the defense back on track. He not only played well, but became the engine that brought the defense back to life. This leads us to wonder, will the Ravens give up on a player who had such an impact, not only on the field, but also in crucial moments of emotional and motivational recovery for the team? With all the financial difficulties the Ravens are facing, they have a tough decision ahead. Keep Marlon Humphrey or let him go to free up cap space. There's no doubt that Humphrey is one of the best cornerbacks in the league and had an outstanding season. However, the tight cap space means the team may need to part with some veteran players to keep financial balance. The issue is that by losing Humphrey, the Ravens would not only lose a great player, but also a central figure in the defense, someone who has the power to change the course of a game and motivate the team in the toughest moment. The decision regarding Marlon Humphrey's future goes far beyond numbers. Sure, cap space is important, but the value of a leader like Humphrey can't be measured in dollars alone. He's the type of player who, when on the field, brings something special that goes beyond his technical skill. He has the ability to change the spirit of the defense, lift the team's morale, and make game-changing plays when most needed. So, the Ravens need to think carefully. Is it worth losing this leader, or would it be better to find a way to keep this defensive pillar? Additionally, the Ravens must consider the emotional and strategic impact of losing a player like Humphrey. He's not only an excellent defender, but also a source of motivation and leadership for the team. His departure could affect the locker room morale and, perhaps, even the defense's overall performance. Therefore, the decision to keep or not keep Humphrey needs to consider much more than just financial numbers. It involves the team's long-term vision. The question now is, will the Ravens be able to balance the cap space and still keep Marlon Humphrey, this essential leader for the defense and the future of the team? With the possibility of keeping Marlon Humphrey, the Ravens can secure a solid foundation for the future of the defense, which could be crucial for the team's success in the coming years. The decision to keep or not keep the player could shape what lies ahead both on and off the field. But the big question is, will the Ravens be able to manage the cap and ensure one of their greatest leaders stays? I want to know your opinion. What would you do if you were in the team's management? Leave your comment below and make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything about the Ravens.